Greetings YouTube. Sorry about the motion there. LMS Tactical, hope you guys are doing good. If you saw my last video, you saw me opening up the goat gun. I went ahead and assembled it. Only takes a couple of seconds. It's just badass, heavy metal, comes off the stand. I chose to go ahead and put on a suppressor. It's just awesome, man. I mean, check out my last video. I think it's called Toys or something, New Toys. Check it out. I got the AK-47 too. I'm getting ready to put together. But anyways, what I wanted to talk about now, remember I said I had something else to talk about. Don't ask me why this came up, but I was thinking about it today, and I thought, you know what, I'll make a video about it. So, it's how did I learn to fish? And I think, you know, sometimes in life, and I hate to sound like I'm the old guy on the mountain, you know, the old philosopher, but life is full of, for everybody, it's full of interesting and really cool little experiences that happen, you know, sometimes daily. And while we can't share everything with everybody, sometimes there's some little serendipitous things that happen that are profound in their own little way. And if we take them to our grave, I find that kind of sad. And I thought, you know what, I have a little story to tell, and it's kind of cool. And I don't want it to die with me. Not that I'm going to plan on dying soon, but I'm just saying that theoretically when a person dies, you know, the YouTube videos continue on. And who knows? You know, maybe somebody will get a inspiration or a smile out of this. Here's what happened. So, I always got to preface these personal stories with a little bit of backgrounds because people may fly onto this channel for the first time. You know, my subscribers are growing so fast, and I'm just, that's, you know, hashtag sarcasm. It's a good thing I'm not doing YouTube for money because, holy shit, man, they don't, you know, they don't allow me to monetize anything. And the few that are monetized, I'm not complaining, I'm just letting you know. I don't know how people make money on YouTube. I think you got to have like 1 million subscribers because I don't make a dime off of this channel, oddly enough. I mean, I'm so popular. Hashtag sarcasm again. But anyways, I'm not complaining, just thinking about it. I was just watching another guy's video and he was talking about how he went from, you know, 800,000 subscribers down to 600, and he's pissed off because people are leaving his channel and, you know, it's his livelihood. And I'm thinking, holy shit. But anyways, so, got to do a little bit of background. So, I grew up, you know, poor little white kid in South Central LA, Inglewood, Hawthorne area. No father in my life, youngest of 4, no men in my life. I was the youngest of 4, the other 3 were girls. And so, I didn't have that male influence. I think it's illegal to have a male influence nowadays with children. But at any rate, you know, so I didn't learn how to do things, like fix things and build things and do kind of guy things, you know, that we used to be allowed to say were guy things. So, you know, I went in the military. I found out that I had testicles when I went in the Army and became a paratrooper, and I was like, hey, this is kind of fun being a guy. Got out of that, went into the Los Angeles Police Department, became a cop. And about that time, you know, I got married. This is my ex-wife. My first marriage was, you know, 20-year marriage. And so at that time, let's see, I got out of the Army, I got married. I was 21 when I got married, was LAPD, and I think I had just finished probation or was getting close to finishing probation. And it just hit me out of the blue. I don't know why. Maybe I heard a guy talking about it or something when I was on patrol, maybe a partner or a training officer. But it just hit me one day. I wanted to go fishing. But I didn't know the first thing about fishing. And when I say I didn't know about anything about fishing, I did not know one thing about fishing. Other than the fact that there was a hook involved and a pole. That's pretty much all I knew. I had never touched anything like that, but I knew that from, you know, watching cartoons and whatnot. So maybe the guys were talking about fishing, and I started thinking, man, that sounds like it'd be fun. So I went and I told my wife at the time, hey man, you know, I just got this hankering. I want to fish. I want to learn how to do it. So, you know, I bought a fishing pole. Went to wherever, Kmart, whatever, bought a pole. And on my next day off, I went down to, I was by myself, I think. Yeah, I was by myself. I went down to Manhattan Beach. I was in California, so I went down to Manhattan Beach, California, and they have a pier there. And at the end of the pier and toward the end, there's always guys fishing, and you know, they always are catching fish. I didn't know what kind of fish there were in the ocean, you know, honestly. So, knowing nothing about it, this is what I did. When I bought the pole, I made sure it already had line on it. You know, it probably had some weak ass, you know, 3-pound test, who knows. But on the way to go fishing, you know, I bought the hooks, and I don't remember if I bought any weights or not. I didn't have any swivels, I know that. And I bought a pack of hot dogs. I mean, this is funny shit, man, when you think about it. I go down to the pier, and I find a spot on the south side of the pier there. I can see it like it was yesterday. And I cut a piece of hot dog. I tied a hook to the string. I don't even think I put a weight on it. And I put a piece of the hot dog on the hook, and I threw it off the side of the pier. And I'm just standing there holding my pole, and I was like, you know, this is pretty fun. A guy could get into this. You know, I mean, I didn't have a bite or anything. The fish weren't into hot dogs, I guess. So I did this for, I don't know, man. Who knows how much time transpired, an hour, whatever. And this old, white-haired, white-beard black guy was sitting on an ice, or sitting on a bucket. It was an upside-down bucket. And he was fishing, you know, 10 feet away from me. And he was catching fish. And about the time, maybe the 5th time that I pulled my line in and replaced, you know, put a new piece of hot dog meat on there, which was, you know, probably falling off underwater with the movement of the water. This old guy, he says, hey partner, you mind if I ask you a question? Oh yeah, what's going on, man? He says, are you putting hot dogs on the hook there? I said, yeah. Kosher. And the guy, he could have busted up laughing, but he didn't. And he asked me, he says, well, why are you putting hot dogs on your hook? And not in a condescending way, in a curious way. And this dude was in his 80s, man. Late 70s, early 80s. And I said, and he was this real weathered looking guy, you know, been out there fishing probably since I was an embryo. And I said, well, that's all I have. I said, is that bad? I mean, do the fish not like hot dogs? And he says, well, how long have you been fishing? And I said, I don't know, about an hour. And he goes, no, I mean in your life. And I said, I don't know, about an hour. And he says, oh, okay. He says, well, do you mind if I give you some tips? I said, brother, I'd love it if you'd give me some tips. So I moseyed on over next to this dude, pulled up a bucket. He had an extra one. I didn't have a bucket. I didn't know you're supposed to bring a bucket. And this old dude, God, I wish I would have been taking names and shit. You know, this is what I mean. You know, you go through these things in life, and you know, later on you're like, fuck, I should have got this guy's name. And that old guy must have spent the next hour, solid hour, teaching me everything that he knew about fishing, and specifically saltwater fishing. Like a teacher, like an instructor. I mean, this is how the line is. You tell the weight of the line. This is what kind of line you would use for this type of fish. This is the type of fish we're fishing for. And he opens up his he had a little thing with a bunch of fish that he had caught in there, and he had, you know, bonita. He had bonita in there. What else did he have? There was bonita, and I don't know. There was another kind in there. I can't remember. But so here's the type of fish that are out there. This is what they eat. These are the types of bait you use, or lures. And in this case, it was feathers. You use feathers for the bonita. Feathers on hooks. And I actually still have some of the feathers from that era in my life. But then he sat there and he says, you know, you want this type of line for this type of fish. You want, you know, he went into freshwater fishing and the differences on how you would set up a pole for freshwater versus ocean. He taught me some constants, things that you use in either scenario, how to tie a hook, you know, the weight, where it goes. The weight goes on the line. Then you tie a swivel. He taught me what a lead was, the concept of a lead, how long a lead needs to be for whatever type of fish you're doing, you know, you're fishing for. You know, he let me have a couple of feathers. I caught my first fish in my life right there with that old guy. And it was, you know, anybody that's ever, if you can remember the first fish you caught, you know, it's orgasmic. You know, you just don't forget it. You know, and I ended up becoming an avid fisherman. My entire family, you know, my twin boys, my daughter, from the time they could hold a fishing pole, you know, we fished all over the eastern Sierra Nevadas. You know, I know every one of those lakes that are out there. I fished them all on the June Lake Loop. I fished Lake Lundy, Lake Ellery up at 10,000 feet. I've caught the big giant I'm looking at a picture. I should go take it off the wall and show you of me holding a big old trout like this, man, with a DFG tag on it. I mean, I've caught so many bonita and you know, I've deep sea fished with the family and friends and cops and buddies and gone out and caught yellowtail and you name it, man, I've caught it. I even caught a stingray once. I wasn't fishing for stingray. I had a big old mackerel on there, live bait, and I was on a boat, and the stingray was like the size of the hood of a freaking truck, man. I obviously released it, but what a fight, man. That's another story. But, like the old man in the sea. But it's interesting because I went on, you know, that old guy's dead now, and I went on and taught all of my kids and my stepkids and my adopted kids, all of them, I showed how to tie hooks and taught them the ways of fishing and how to fish. And it all was repeated as it came to me right out of that guy's mouth. That nice old man who saw this dumbass dude fishing on the pier with pieces of hot dog. I mean, man, that's just, that kind of shit gets me emotional when I think about it. I mean, you know, maybe this is just me getting old, but, you know, these thoughts hit me, and that's why I turn on the video, you know, the cell phone camera, and I share it with you guys, because I was in the shower this morning, and I was taking a shower, and I started thinking about that for some unknown reason, and, you know, I just thought, man, I got to share this story with you guys. You know, what a nice guy who never knew that his gift of time and knowledge would go on and be passed down through multiple generations. When my kids teach their kids how to tie a hook, there's only one way they know how to tie a hook, you know. Twist, 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 twist through the loop and back again, and pull, cinch it down. And cut off the remaining part. This is the only way they know. And I can tell you, and they can tell you, that it works. It works really good because, man, we have really seriously caught uncountable numbers of fish in this family. So that's how I learned how to fish. How about you guys? Do you guys fish? How do you remember your first fish? Who taught you how to fish? You know, I always wished you know, no offense, Dad, if you're listening to this, but, you know, life is the way it was, and I don't blame you for not being there for, you know, with my mom. She was kind of a nightmare. But, yeah, I always used to think, man, how cool it would be to have a dad teaching you how to fish when you're a little kid. But I don't even think my dad knows how to fish, to be quite honest with you. I'll have to ask him. He's coming over tonight for movie night. But, Dad, if you know how to fish, leave a comment, but I'm thinking you don't. No offense. I mean, I don't picture Grandpa teaching you how to fish. Anyways, that's my story, man. And a little prayer and salute to that old guy, man, wherever your soul is, brother. Thank you so much for the gift you gave me, man. It didn't go to waste. That's it, man. LMS Tactical. I'm out.